This is Fast Tracks, a highlight of Russell Associates' customer relationships and solutions to common challenges in different industries. In this edition, we talk to Gary Gardner, a former Vice President of Human Resources for Valspar, a chemical coatings manufacturer headquartered in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Gary told us a little about the company.
Valspar makes coatings for a variety of industries, including the can coatings, which would be food and beverage cans, consumer paints, which would be home improvement projects, any industrial coating requiring protective coatings to keep you protected from the elements, prevent rust, and also fine furniture coatings.
Gary talked about the challenges that led to teaming with Russell Associates.
We acquired a company that had a major presence in the wood industry, and the wood furniture business had moved predominantly to China. And most wood manufacturers are using China to source their product. And we had a significant investment in China through this business, and we also had a significant number of people in China that were supporting this business. What we found is that the people that have been hired did not have the requisite technical skills to work with our customers. So we used Russell Associates to help ensure that those people had the proper technical training.
The training created by Russell Associates was designed to give the trainees enough technical knowledge to work with Valspar customers in their plants to make sure they were applying the coatings properly based on conditions such as temperature, humidity, and the specific product being applied.
Historically, what the company would do is simply hire people who were a pair of hands that would help the customer. We decided that we would have a competitive advantage if we had people who had a higher level of training, who could actually solve line problems with the customer. So we created a training program through Russell Associates that started with what makes a tree and what makes a grain of wood, to how is wood sanded, how wood is prepared, and how a piece of furniture is made, and how a piece of furniture is finished, including the staining and the sealing and everything else that happens with the furniture. The objective of this training program was to bring everybody up to a common level of understanding regarding proper finishing of wood furniture.
To develop this program, Russell Associates went through an extensive process of interviewing people in Valspar's United States factories, quality control labs, and development labs. The purpose of these interviews was to define the steps in the application process and determine exactly what the trainees needed to know to apply the product correctly. The training program covered topics such as wood sanding techniques, the chemistry of finishing materials, wood finish application techniques, and of course, safety in the workplace. It also included on-the-job application, where the trainee was required to produce a product for the instructor. The trainee also had to complete work in a customer's factory. The trainee's work was overseen and evaluated by his direct supervisor. According to Gary, the training program has helped Valspar develop a more consistently skilled and knowledgeable workforce.
Well, what happened with this is, number one, we ended up with a higher quality of worker. Number two, we needed fewer of these workers at each facility. When all you provided was a pair of hands and they had no skill, you had to have a lot of pairs of hands. When you had people with real skills who could solve problems, you in fact needed fewer people. So the overall cost of providing an improved service to that customer dropped.
Ultimately, the program not only met all of Valspar's objectives and expectations, but surpassed them.
Yeah, the training far exceeded our objectives. Number one, it was extremely user-friendly. Number two, it included the verification of skills that was critical. Number three, it included practice sessions that the student would complete. And number four, it included things that the supervisor should be watching for in terms of behaviors. So the effect of this was tremendous on the entire workforce. I would recommend Russell Associates strongly because of the level of commitment to me as a customer, to the thoroughness of their review of this entire project, to the time they invested to make sure they understood our business, and the end result was a program that far exceeded the expectations of myself and the management team.